Guess what day it is?
Julie.
Huh?
Julie.
Huh? Guess what day it is?
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
Anybody? Anybody?
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
Anybody? Anybody?
Mike.
Huh?
What day is it, Mike?
Huh?
Woo-hoo! Mike.
Huh?
What day is it, Mike?
Huh?
Oh, come on, I know you can hear me.
Leslie, guess what today is? Leslie, guess what today is? Leslie, guess what today is? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump day!
It's hump day.
Hump day! Uh-oh.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Uh-oh.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's hump day.
Hump day!
It's hump day.
Hump day!
DJ
What's up, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Yeah, we are live and we are good and we are here. And well, all right. So, how has everybody been? I know that I was supposed to stream like yesterday and the day before yesterday, but I'm tired, and so yeah. What's up? And what are we doing today? Well, we're doing some art, more art. Just working on some shit, practicing, and all right. So, seeing that this is let's do it. All right. So I have a bad thing of watching horrible movie trailers. And you know what? Because we thank you for just being in the chat, Joe. We are about to do this because your movie trailers always hit something different. Remember Deadly Weapons? Well, let's do this. Let's do this before we get to drawing. This is a new trailer that Joe has actually given to us. I'm gonna let you guys, if you haven't seen the title, I'm gonna let you guys just watch. Shall we?
Medic!
Oh, Jesus. What is that?
Okay. Wait, what? Okay. Whew. All right. I think I know where the idea came from this shit, but okay, let's go.
Beth, we should go.
Millions of dollars worth of cocaine fell from the sky this morning in Knoxville, Tennessee.
There's more of this out there. They dumped it somewhere.
I'm looking for my daughter.
Forest is a dangerous place.
Hey, Henry, check it out. Something got into it. A deer, maybe.
A lot of cocaine was lost. I need you to go and get it.
The bear got into the cocaine. Okay, this is wild. So I know that there's a recent story about a bear getting into like honey that kind of like got him high, and he got like really fucking high. This was out in Turkey, but this is interesting.
No, don't eat that. Let's see what kind of effect that has on you.
Oh shit.
The bear.
Oh, imagine Yogi being high as hell. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go.
Fucking did cocaine. cocaine.
It was a bear.
A bear?
It was bark.
Hey, that's inappropriate.
You're safe. Bears can't climb trees.
Bullshit.
Of course I can.
It kind of seems like the thing that stays with a man forever.
Okay. Let's go. Oh, let's go.
Apex predator. High on cocaine. Out of his mind.
Wait. Did he just do a line off that dude's leg?
High on cocaine. Out of it.
He just did a line off of his leg. Oh God, he did a line off his leg. Okay.
Mind.
Oh wow.
Oh man, you fucked.
What's wrong with that bear? Shoot it!
You don't shoot a crackhead. Crackheads get up after that shit. Okay. All right, let's go.
We have such good luck in nature.
Wow. Oh shit. Okay. Wow, that was a thing that happened. Cocaine Bear. Wow. That motherfucker was high. He got high. He gets high. Okay, I'm sorry. That's just wow. Okay, shit. Well, that's a good way of starting things off. Yeah, this is my collection of crazy movie trailers. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Wow. That bear did a line off of somebody's leg. All right, let's. Okay. Whew. All right, so, yeah, that was a thing that happened. Yeah, guys. Oh man, wow. Okay, so I'm actually doing some more art, and this is. So if you don't realize, this is actually this is my arm. This is my arm. Is my arm is about half the size of my penis. No, okay, all right. So, this is a 18 by 14 inch. Excuse me. Drawing that I'm trying to work on. By the way, keep in mind, if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe and all the other good shit. If you're watching on Twitch, you can donate on Twitch or subscribe on Twitch, or you can donate on the the YouTube's. The link is in the description and shit like that. And yeah, I am also just saying, because I've been told that I have to kind of do this shit. I have to be said that I have to ask people to like and all that other good shit. So yeah, have to do that. I also want to actually just say that it has been interesting with the last with the last week or so, with the influx of people, and it's actually been the last month or so. It's like my channel is actually starting to hit its stride. When it has a lot of people are starting to watch, picking up a lot of subscribers. And I thank everybody who's actually subscribed recently. I hope this is a channel that you can actually sit back and enjoy. Even when I'm not streaming, the videos come out mostly daily. We try to, try to put our finger on, who am I lying? We talk about shit. We address certain things, and we do it through videos, and we do it through responding to videos that we do, all this other good shit. But anyway, I want to say this. First, thank you for coming to the stream. It is very, very appreciative when we have people into the stream. And yeah, let's kind of get into a few things. And this is one of the things that I want to actually address. All right. So this is going to be a little bit awkward because it's going to require some reading while I'm doing some art. But let's go. So probably about 3 months ago, I did a video talking about how we need to actually change our way we look at work and shit. And quite frankly, this is something that they did a study talking about how, some companies in England, while they actually worked, the government actually helped support a 4-day weekend, a 4-day work week. And the people worked that 4-day week, and it was no loss in their pay. And they had either Friday or Wednesday off. I'm more of a Wednesday off person myself. And we keep getting these stories where our relationship to work actually changed. And it's quite telling that in the UK, Turf Island, the island of the lords and ladies and shit like that, where they are really considering having people work less. While in the US, there's a big news story about, the president trying to force striking union workers to work more. But I digress. Let's actually look. And this article comes from The Guardian. 100 UK companies sign up for a 4-day work week with no loss of pay. Thousands of employees will be moved permanently to 4 days in a policy that described as transformative. And yes, we know a lot of this came from the pandemic and dealing with COVID. And even though this was something that was predicted with Keynesian, ironically, Keynesian, economics, almost 100 years ago, this is some of the things that's come into fruition. Now, 100 UK companies have signed up for a permanent 4-day work week for all of their employees with no loss of pay, a milestone in the company's fundamental change in Britain's approach to work. And again, this is a place where it is a little bit more regressive in certain things versus other things, but yeah, let's keep going. 100 companies employ 2,600 staff, a tiny fraction of UK's working population, but a 4-day week campaign group is hoping that they will be the vanguard of the major shift. Proponents of the 4-day work week say that the 5-day pattern is a hangover from an early economic age. They argue that a 4-day week would drive companies to improve their productivity, meaning that they can create the same output using fewer hours. For some early adopters, the policy has proven a useful way of attracting and retaining employees. The two biggest companies that have signed are Adam Bank, a global marketing company, Adwin, and global marketing company Adwin, who each have about 450 staff in the UK. They have been accredited by a 4-day work week campaign, meaning that they've demonstrated they have genuinely reduced hours for workers rather than forcing them into longer days. Adam Ross, Adwin's chief executive, said adopting the 4-day week was one of the most transformative innovations we've seen in history of the company. Over the course of the last year and a half, we have not only seen tremendous increase in employee wellness and well-being, but concurrently our customer service relations customer service, and relations, as well as talent relations and retention have benefited. So, in other words, doing a 4-day work week has alleviated some stress from a lot of people. Oh, wow. I wonder why that is. You're telling me when people don't have to work themselves to death in order to work, they are more productive? Oh, shit. Who would have saw that coming? Says any economic theories that wasn't fucking Freeman. But let's continue. The UK is also coordinating the world's largest pilot scheme for about 70 companies, which will employ about 3,300 workers to adapt a 4-day week in a trial. Researchers at the University of Cambridge and Oxford, Boston College, and think tank Autonomy. In September, 88% of those companies in a survey in the middle of the trial said a 4-day work week was working well for their business. And at the stage of the trial, about 95% of the companies surveyed said productivity had either stayed the same or improved since the introduction. Oh, and this is the craziest thing. We know that productivity doesn't drive a lot of these companies because they have to have the finger on the pulse or the throat of their employees at all times. Because look at goddamn work from home. Now, there are still some companies that allow work from home. My company still allows work from home. And the reason why is because it's really about, retaining the employees. Like, for instance, the reason why I stream so late in the evening is because my company allows me to work from home as long as I close down the call center I work in. In other words, I stay to close. And because of that, I'm able to work from home. Now, here's the thing about it. They use that as a tool to be able to say, hey, you want the benefit from working from home? Yeah, you got to stay to close. And this is kind of the same thing. It's that things that benefit companies actually equate to more productivity, but it's just like they have to kind of like, I don't know, still feel like they're in charge. But this is a little bit different. And I'm glad to see that the change in the progress is actually going where it's like, okay, we give our employees more time and we're not really losing anything. But to be honest with you, they're actually just gaining money from the state anyway. But, we're going to keep going. We're going to be positive with this shit. All right. So, here, Joe Ryle, the UK company's director, said there was an increase in momentum in the adoption of the 4-day work week as company braced for a long recession. We want to see a 4-day work week with no loss of pay become normal way of working in this country by the end of the decade, so we're aiming to sign up more companies over the next few years, he said. With many businesses struggling to afford 10% inflation pay raises, we're starting to see an increasing evidence that a 4-day work week with no loss of pay is being offered as an alternative to the solution. Most companies that have officially adopted the 4-day work week are in the service sectors such as technology, events, or marketing companies. However, the campaign says that some manufacturing and construction employees also have signed up. Some historians have said the debate over the introduction of the 4-day work week has many similarities with the 19th century campaign for a 2-day weekend. So, yeah, this is actually telling, because what ends up happening is workers, we are what drives these companies. And as long as these companies are fighting against their workers, then they're shooting themselves in the foot. And I hope this not only catches up within the end of the decade, but it's also something that should actually be adopted just across the fucking world. I know people will think that, hey, it's just these laptop people, it's just these service sector people who literally just have the availability to say, like, oh, you only want to work 4 days a week? Then you're not really working hard. And really, I work 40 hours a week. I work hard. And that's even outside of the dedication I put to YouTube. I work in the customer service sector. And this is one thing that I've never also gotten. If you have more shifts to cover by working, like, this is just my poor man's economic understanding, and maybe I'm rambling. If you have it where people are paid the same for less time, but you have to still fill those hours, that means more people are actually working. So bear with me on this one. It's just gonna kind of make sense. If you regulate how many people have to work at a given time, where you have, let's just take a blind number of 10, and you have people that only can, at first people were working 5, they can work up to 5. So you only need 2 people to cover those shifts. But if you cut it down where people can actually work 4, you still have to hire that third person. What if you have to work, for people to have to work 3? You hire 4 people. And it's the reverse of the tragedy of the commons, where the more people are hired, the more work there is, and the more money into the economy. And I know that there'll be some people that will say, well, these people, they don't want to work. And you pay a man enough to work where they have to work and they're not being exploited, then they're gonna work. And I don't know, it just seems to me that a lot of people poo-poo on workers, and they say that workers don't really want to work, when in reality they're not compensated enough. And you just saw it. People are willing to take a pay freeze over not working as much. Would I do that? Would I stay at my same pay and only work, I don't know, 32 hours a week, have me 3 days off, even if it means me not getting more pay? Fuck yeah. Now the bonus would be to get more pay, but fuck yeah. But yeah, no, I don't know. That's what I have to say about it. I know it's not one of my traditional videos, but it's one of those videos where, to be very honest with you, we need to have more of a conversation about it, especially when striking workers are actually being told to get back to work. You motherfucking slaves. But anyway, that's what I have to say about it. Like, share, subscribe, and we can go on to the next subject, but cut this video here. Alright, so yeah, I wanted to cover that because it's something I saw a minute ago and I just want to actually address. Alright, so
No fake it.
Alright, let's go.
Gentlemen, it's
one of the default.
Alright, so let's actually go on this. Let's actually talk about this. Alright. So. Let's go. I want to say one motherfucking thing. Now, before we actually get to it, I want to acknowledge something. I want to acknowledge that, hey, it's me. I'm Crimson, and I am fully aware that there are some people who are just like shit. And those people may just like try to address something. And they may be cruel, they may be unkind, and you know what? That's fine. They can be cruel and unkind. But by that same token, I get to be cruel and unkind to them. And so, with that being said, me being cruel and unkind, we're going to talk about our favorite Wish version of Deborah Ann Wall. We're going to talk about Pearl. Yes, I know we're talking about Pearl again. I know, I get it. I'm sorry. It's just, like, I'm trying to get rid of my list that I have. Once I get rid of my list that I have, like, she's going to be no longer on it right now. But I had to actually cover this because I wanted to talk about, for all of the guys, and I get it. I have non-binary people in my chat, and I have women in my chat. But my biggest demographic is guys for some reason, and we're gonna see this because I've got a couple of videos about this. We're gonna see this about men aren't allowed to have dating standards, which is bullshit because I have dating standards. I think I actually have more dating standards that deals with more non-physical shit than like physical looks. But again, we're gonna hear this bullshit. And by the way, Pearl, dog, I thought you was somebody who, you hated, women that aren't super skinny. And I think, I don't know, I have a problem with women wearing makeup to hide imperfection or flaws, because I think imperfections and flaws are actually beautiful. Maybe it's because I'm an artist and shit like that, but dog, you're not looking your best, Pearl. But anyway, I'm being an asshole with this. Let's see what she has to say.
Yeah, the reality of it, not no faking.
What age do you think men and women peak on dating apps?
Wait, what? Wait, women don't peak on dating apps. Nobody peaks on dating apps. Dating apps are just fucking dating apps. You can't peak on there. I don't care. Like, I'm 40 and I use dating apps. It's fine. To be honest with you, I don't date anybody that's really below 35, me being 40, because you can't peak on dating apps. This is the conversation of a fucking 15-year-old. Oh, women peak at certain... No, they don't. I will tell you this. Vagina never goes bad. It is okay. I like more cushion for the pushing, more thighs for that prize, thick thighs. Okay, all right. Like Joe says, it ain't nothing wrong with being chunky and funky. Yeah, exactly.
I say 22
for women.
So for women,
okay,
22.
What do you guys think?
Wait, did he say 22? A woman? Wow. Okay. I don't know any women on dating apps that's peaked at 22. I've never seen that happen, because it's bullshit. Women don't peak at 22. What are you, the Matt Walsh dating plan? Like, the fuck? Okay. All right, let's go.
Early 20s, yeah.
Must be, 24 the max.
Okay, what do you guys think for men?
Ooh.
I think it's later in life, because some
What
females
age?
are like 31.
31?
Do they have daddy complexes? I mean, like, the fuck? You're like, I'm sorry, again, I don't understand the whole need of needing this whole... if you want to say that you become more established in your job and career, that's bullshit, because millennials now, they still aren't established in their careers, even in our 40s. But still. Yeah, no, that's not a thing that happens. But let's go.
Maybe like later 20s.
I'm gonna say late 20s.
For men?
For men, late 20s. Tell us, pal.
Oh, I hear this.
Researchers determined that while men's sexual desirability peaks at 50.
That's what I'm saying.
Women starts at 18 and falls from there.
I'm over it.
For online daters, women peak at 18 while men peak at 50.
That just sounds so. What are they looking at? Pornhub stack? Like the fuck? And again, that based on the premise that men only peak because they can provide. Like I don't get that. Like I get it. Maybe I'm living inside of my bubble of me actually using dating apps in my experience, but that just doesn't. Where's the study from? Maybe that's what my question should be. Where's that study from? But let's continue.
That is, I mean, I'm 41. I'm good with that. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm good with that.
Hitting your peak, brother.
But I'm just, and that's the thing. That's the whole thing. That gets into the argument of younger women like older men.
Facts.
And older men like younger women. And so, but
again, like a lot, I want to know where this studies comes from, because I can understand if you are shallow and you're only thinking about, if you're only thinking about smashing, if you're only thinking about banging, then yeah, of course you want the candy on your arm. You want the, oh yeah, she's gonna suck the skin off my penis, or she's gonna suck a golf ball through, a garden hose. Yeah, of course, but maybe I don't understand, but let's go.
But what happens to the women that are in that older bracket?
They get bitter.
Right.
Because
side chicks.
They get bitter.
Yeah,
right.
they need side chicks.
Because they see.
No, they don't. They actually get into relationships. They don't. I can go right now and see and talk to, like, a woman's value isn't just sexual. And again, what is the dating apps goal? Because there are dating apps that have so many different things, so many different goals. You can have things like Plenty of Fish, which is just like, yeah, like you can have Tinder, which is hookup. You can have Facebook dating, which is hookup because it's Facebook. You can have okay, Cupid, which is still hookup but kind of wanting a real relationship. You can have Hinge, which is kind of a poly hookup. But okay, but you get what I'm saying. Different dating apps address different markets. It's not just one thing. And so where is this study from? But let's continue.
They see the younger girls doing what they used to do, and then they demonize the older guys for going for younger women when those were the women going for older guys when they were younger.
Correct. Because everyone remembers, like, when you were at school or college or whatever,
you had the man.
Those girls that were at college, the guys that would roll up in the car,
in the Astra,
Why does it sound like these motherfuckers are like, okay, so I get that there are a lot of I didn't have a problem with dating when I was younger. And maybe because, one, I actually got married young. But I still didn't have a problem with dating when I was younger. It just seems like a lot of this information and the way these guys are describing it is that I didn't have any luck when I was a young guy, and so now I get to like make up for lost time. It's just like, no, like even though I can say that I was in a committed relationship, and now that I'm no longer in that committed relationship, in a monogamous relationship, I'm not still looking at like, oh yeah, I miss my teens. Like, no, what I was at was good for me now. Where I was at was good for me then, but now it doesn't work for me. I'm not gonna just sit back and like, oh yeah, I'm getting revenge on these young chicks. Remember I was in college and you went for the older guy. Like, no, this just sounds bitter. And if that's where they're taking that study information from, I don't know. But let's go.
They will always go for the older guys. They always would.
And then what would they tell you? Guys my age are immature. They're immature.
Women have always liked older men.
But then when it flips now and they start to hit their peak,
so it's not that women is always like older men. It's that was a standard that was set for them because women were seen as properties. And as soon as the first wife dies off because of childbirth or because of disease, they go and buy them a newer model. That's not a biological thing. It's just the way society had built a system in place. And I'm sorry, like, one, people need to stop fetishizing young untapped girls. It's stupid, it's predatory, and it shows a lot of insecurity. But I don't know. This is where that vibe that I'm getting it from. But let's go.
Decline. That's when they start demonizing the men. Oh, well, you guys are weird. Why can't you find a girl your own age? Why you go for younger girls? Yeah. You was that girl like 10 years ago.
Why do you guys think that women tend to shame men for having standards?
Because they're old and bitter.
Wait, women don't shame men for having standards. Wait, what? I have standards. In actuality, the fact that I have standards is a reason why so many women respect me. What are you talking about? What standards? What standards are men being shamed for having? The only standards that I've heard that any man have been shamed for having is these incel. Oh, she has to be this, that. She has to be size 2 at the most. If she go to size 4, she need to go on a diet. She has to be super pretty and she has to be super rich because she needs to take care of me and shit like that. But they can't bring anything to the motherfucking table themselves. I haven't heard of a man being shamed for having standards. I've heard little boys for being shamed for having standards. But I will tell you right now, I have said this and everybody agrees with me when I say this. My standard is a big titty golf girl that likes anime. That's one of my standards. Like, the fact is, I'm never criticized for that standard. Now, of course, if you know me, you know my standards for having a friend around, shit like that. But I'm never criticized for my standard. But let's continue.
What do you guys think? I'm just curious, like, because
why do
shame men? Yeah, why do shame men?
So whenever men have a standard, often, and I'm not saying every woman, right? But oftentimes women shame them for having it. So like we have the body positivity movement, right? If guys say I don't like fat chicks, canceled.
Yeah, now we're like,
if guys say I don't want to date a single mother, if they say I don't want to date ugly girls, like anything that they.
And again, it's about what that standard is and how you fit for your own standard. So for one, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna actually say it. I don't want to date a woman who has a child under 10. And the reason why I say that is because, no, in a lot of cases, a lot of women have children that they need them, especially if a child is under 10. They require a lot of attention. I know how attention I desire, and no, I don't want to ever take that away from or try to put myself above a mother who has a child of that age. And it's not saying that, oh, you have this particular standard. Like, no, it's just that, you know, I know how it is as a father, you know, how children require attention or require certain things. Just as I wouldn't want somebody to put me in front of their child. No, if it's something came up, something that I use very, very frequently is when it comes to Marvel movies, the first person that I always check if we're going to see a Marvel movie is my daughter, because that's the kind of thing that we have. Afterwards, then it's okay to like check whoever I'm, you know, dating or seeing, because in the end, you know, my responsibility for bringing into this or providing a world with a halfway adjusted adult trumps me getting my rocks off. And yeah, that's the first thing that we're gonna actually do. But that's because I'm holding myself to a same standard. I will want somebody else that I hold them to a standard. As far as no fat chicks, like, what are you, fucking crazy? Like, thick thighs save lives. Like, I don't get that whole thing of Like, and a lot of these guys that have that standard, they aren't exactly the Adonis type of picture perfect. And you're not being criticized about, oh, I don't want a fat chick. You being criticized that you can't hold up to your same standards. But again, Pearl feeds to these insecure, these lonely, and these upset guys that, to be quite honest, if they flip their personality, and I'm not saying it's an easy thing, I'm not saying it is something to do overnight. If they flip their personality and see who's lonely around them and why they feel, you know, the women around them that they feel are lonely around them, maybe talk to them and engage in a friendship without expectation.
Animals are innocent. Don't be species.
Thank you. But if they flip their, you know, their perception of like, oh, these women just don't want to give me the attention that I want, and just be the person that you want to be around, then a lot of times they won't be missing out on the companionship that they want, because a lot of it isn't about sex. A lot of it is about companionship. And yes, this is coming from a demisexual. This is coming from a sapiosexual. I know that. But a lot of it is about companionship and acceptance. That's what a lot of this incel bullshit is from. They want to be accepted and they want companionship. But they don't want to change their fucking anger or their assholishness. But let's continue.
They say they're shamed for.
I think it's because we treat men like trash.
Okay.
And we have too much high expectation of how they should treat us and what they should be doing for us and this, that, and the other, but we don't hold ourselves in the same regard. I do think that men don't get treated correctly. And I think in certain cultures, obviously I'm from the black community. I think black women can sometimes treat black men like absolute dirt. And then it's the same cycle you go through, you know, someone who's got a lot of baby fathers and then she has a son and then she raises a son to be just like this.
So there is some truth to what she's saying about men being treated as dirt. I will say that. And this is one of those things that I kind of get on the left about not addressing with men's issues. Men, in some sense, are treated as dirt. Like, they're treated as trash. They treated as lames. They're treated of... I can't say that they're treated as lames and don't get any attention, because I still got attention. But there is a prevailing idea of what masculinity is, and until we both as society and personally as men think, I'm not gonna live up to that shit, I'd rather be me and I'd rather be who the fuck I want to be, they'll still face this thing where they won't be seen as masculine enough. But it kind of like, in trying to perform that masculinity in a way where they may be seen as that, they kind of are just not given that, like, the attention that they think that they should actually get. But in reality, when you choose to be yourself, when you just says, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna be me, be who I want to be, and as long as I'm not hurting anybody, as long as I'm not manipulating anybody, it's fine. As long as I'm not putting out that, oh, I'm mad at you type bullshit, people would flock to you. And yes, there is a cycle in certain areas, in certain communities, where masculinity is treated as the go-to to get the attention you want. But I will say this: if that's the people that, if somebody rejects you for not being the stereotypical guy, but you are kind and not a nice guy, but kind to them, and you treat them as you would want to be treated, then you don't need to be around that person. I will never want to be around a woman like Pearl. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. From the shit that she puts out there, no, I would think that she was a fucking sociopath and not want to be around somebody like that. And I think that's a lot of problem that a lot of people are facing in the incel community. They don't recognize who to be around. But let's continue.
The dad that she cussed. It doesn't make sense. But it's a very deep, like, it's like obviously these are deep issues that go into like.
Do you know what's
how
very interesting? We
people
talk about that when it comes to dating apps, like on dating apps, the people that are the women that are least desired on dating apps happen to be black women.
But do you think that's because for example, when I went on Tinder that time, it was saturated with white men.
Hell, you sit this one out.
It was saturated with white men. So obviously, it's like who's frequent in these apps. Is that a cultural thing? So there weren't many black men on there. So
and this is actually yes, a lot of, I'll say it like this, and this is my working theory. I don't want to say that I have hypothesis on there. There's a lot of things that certain communities, not just black communities, but people who just did not have certain access to technology, which is changing, that they just don't frequent. I realized something, that unlike most people that I grew up with, I literally have a computer. I know people that now are in my age group that they have a laptop. They you know, when I try to get people to do more YouTube shit, they're doing it off their phone, laptop. But most people didn't have a computer. I'm more comfortable with a computer. I actually literally have 2 desktops in my home because I grew up with desktops. And with the prevalence and ubiquity of smartphones, you see a lot more people actually doing YouTube from smartphones. But there's a limit of what you can actually do with that. There is a limit of what you can actually do with a smartphone. You don't get the big production quality with just a smartphone. Hell, I'm shooting this with a fucking webcam. But still, it's a technological gap that is being closed. And with that being said, yes, you don't see a lot of people that have the same level of technological adaptation that you would actually see in different communities. That being said, however, don't get me wrong, if guys are eager enough that they say, hey, if I use this dating app, I can get more engagement and what I'm looking for, they'll use it. It's just that technological gap needs to actually start, closing. So yes, there are, just like if you go on streaming right now, like Twitch or YouTube, you saw a lot of the people who were those early adapters of YouTube that you see that or the legacy YouTube channels, they were mostly white because of the economic things. And yeah, it's some racism. I'm not gonna lie, but it's also socio-economic as well. But let's continue.
So, and I also think that in society, black women are not desired.
Why?
Bullshit. Now, are they fetishized? Yes, I will say that. But yeah, it's fetishization more than desire, but both are there.
That was saying quiet over there.
I think that. Why do I think?
Why do you think black women are least desired? And the thing is, on dating apps, the most desired woman is the Asian women.
Because of fetishization. Like seriously, you're just talking about fetishes that a lot of people are fucking doing, and that's the fucked up part about it. But you can't let dating apps regulate how you see the world. That's living in a bubble. But let's go.
On dating apps, they're the ones that are most desired.
Oh, Asian girls kill it.
Like, Asian
they're in
girls
better
kill it.
shape. They can cook better.
Like,
if I got left for an Asian chick, I would understand.
Like, Asian women,
I would understand.
Asian women are most desired. Black women are least desired.
I think because of
white men are most desired. Black men are creeping up there, but Asian men are least desired.
It's all a madness.
Yeah.
I feel that if you look at media, I'm not social media necessarily, but media, what was portrayed as beautiful and what has been thrown out there. If you look at adverts when we were younger and models and etc., it was like the slimmer, white, blonde, etc. So they weren't pushing through that culture of having black women as desired.
Right.
And then I think because of certain things within black culture where women have gone through certain struggles and they've got, you remember we were talking before in the other episode about like masculine energies or those energies, then
there's no such thing as masculine or feminine energies. It's just the way people act. There's no natural masculine energy or feminine energy. No, people can be aggressive, people can be passive. That doesn't dictate your fucking gender. It just dictates how you act. I'm passive because I work in a call center job, except when somebody is an asshole, then I kind of want to act like Kratos. Or be passive aggressive. I know, I get it. But there's no masculine energy. Describing your energy as masculine or feminine is the playground of shallow people. But let's go.
It creates this thing where we're strong, independent, X, Y, and Z, and men are not finding that necessarily attractive.
Would you say that men in general, not just black, not just white, not just Asian, do not find a masculine woman desirable?
Oh, men who are weak of mind, weak of soul, don't find strong women attractive? I wonder why. It's almost as if they're weak. I'm sorry. It's just like, look, I need a fucking strong woman to match me. I do not need someone who I can run roughshod over. Because I'm going to always have a strong personality. I will forever have a strong personality. And to have somebody to feel like, oh, I need to tell them what to do and they need to always listen to me. No, that's weakness. You're weak. I need somebody to walk with me because I go places angels fear to tread. So can you go? But for a guy to say like, no, she's too masculine. How? How is a woman too masculine? And that's the thing. Aggressive women are not the same as strong women. You are absolutely goddamn right, Chungus. Now, did I say I wanted an aggressive woman? Fuck no. Strong woman. Because strength is not measured by the exercise of power, but the control of it. And so, yeah, I will give you that. I will fucking give you that. Because I wouldn't want an aggressive woman outside of bedroom activities. Okay. All right, let's go.
I think that men like to have that element of they're looking after you. So women are nurturing, but a man wants to feel like he's able to take care of you.
Right.
So if you're on a level where it's like, no.
Wait. No. Okay. So this is the shit that kind of like fucks with me, right? And yeah, no, most people mistake aggressive for strong. Yeah, no, of course they do. But I don't feel that I need to look after someone to feel important. I need to feel that I'm contributing. I need to feel as if I'm being part of the solution. But look after, you look after pets. You look after small children. You don't look after adults. That's not a thing. I don't need to look after. Oh, please, no. Is anybody in my YouTube chat that can actually block that? Block user on YouTube. Okay, yeah. And add that. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. But I don't need to look after an adult. That's not something that I need to look after. I don't need to look after somebody that should be able to look after themselves. Can I be supportive? Again, can I be contributive? But look after? No, you're an adult. if you can't be mostly self-sustaining without me, what happens if I'm no longer around, be it by choice or not choice? And maybe again, because I've dealt with several industries in customer service where I've seen the results of people whose spouse took care of everything and they didn't have to worry about it. And I've seen the distraught and dismay that that's brought when they've had to deal with it themselves. And I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. And I've seen, to some extent, in my own personal life, where for instance, I remember times, there are times where, because my father died, and like there are things that need to be done, and it's just like I had to pick up the slack because my mother wasn't comfortable with doing certain shit or, addressing certain shit, and it leaves me in a place where it's just like I never want that for my daughter. I never want that for any woman that I'm dating or, any future partners, because that shit's sad. To see somebody struggling with something where they feel that they should have known how to do it, but they relied on somebody else to do it. That shit's sad. And you empathize with those people. But again, we're talking about incels that have no empathy. So, all right, let's go. No, because it's on YouTube, and don't worry about it, Joe. I removed it on myself. Don't worry about it. So let's go.
I don't need you. Men like to be needed. So
again, I don't like to be needed. I need to. I before anything like to be wanted. I get it. I get it. Like, I like to be wanted. I don't need to, like, it's the whole thing of, oh, you need me so you can't leave. No, fuck. Okay, you don't want to be here anymore? Bye. And that's not even with malice. That's just like, I'm not going to waste my energy to try to convince you to stay here when you don't want to, or it's no longer healthy for you to, or you're limited to. Okay, bye. I understand. We're adults. You're not my property. But let's continue.
I think that kind of ties into it. I think it's really sad how black women have been treated and etc. in terms of attraction. It's a mad, complicated issue. I'm mixed, so the mixed experience is a completely different experience as well. Everyone has their own experience.
You were lighty, you don't count.
See that? And do you know? Let me tell you something. Being light,
you're gonna go in now, guys.
I am. You asked a question.
Yeah, go on.
Being light-skinned is not always the easiest thing either, because people have sort of it was a trend, right? So it's a relatively new thing. If you look at like when people were able to have multicultural relationships, it's kind of a new generation. So then it was a fashion statement. So you'd get women who were like, oh, I want a light-skinned child. You're not thinking about all the things that come with having, a child that is from a different culture.
Who would say I want a light-skinned child?
I've heard white girls say that.
Right.
So what she's saying is true. There are so many people that was like, oh, light-skinned chick, or just like, my personal taste is human, big titty golf girl that likes anime. And I don't just mean like literally black, white, Hispanic, Asian. Like, what drives me is motherfucking personality above anything, and titties. But I get what she's saying, and this is where I have to like challenge people. It's like, do you want to fall down the path of following along and being like everybody else and fitting in, or do you want to stand out? Not because, oh, look, I'm standing out, I'm different, but just because you're more comfortable that way. But let's go.
Okay.
I have, because they think that
designer babies.
Designer baby, but it's like, it's not about that. You actually bringing another human into this world. Yeah, so it's like, it's not about what how melanated you are, but it's yeah, I've tangented.
I have a question for you. So what do you think about women shaming men for not having standards? Because
why does she keep bringing it back to this? This is actually a deeper conversation than what fucking Pearl is trying to actually have. Pearl is trying to fish for fucking YouTube clips and fucking short clips. That's all she's trying to do. And it's just, I get it. A lot of her audience are fucking two brain-sealed motherfuckers who, yeah, women bad. But like, no, this woman is literally pouring her heart out, talking about, yeah, I've dealt with these standards, I've dealt with these, and I'm trying to make sure that I get better with it. But Pearl, what do you think about having standards? Fuck. This is why I hate this shit, because the thing about a lot of this manosphere shit, this red pill shit, is not that, oh, it's just disrespectful to women. No, that I get it. Fuck. Yeah, okay, you playing to an audience. But it shits on men as well. It tells men that you only should be concerned with the looks and the fact that these women haven't been touched. And if you can't get it, then it's bad. It's like, no, fuck. I'm sorry. I want these manosphere motherfuckers to realize something. One, it's okay not to be monogamous if you really doesn't fit you. And the fact is, not saying that you have to be a cuck, but requiring monogamy, if that's one of the things that's making you feel bad, that's not something that you have to require out of a relationship, especially if you don't have the capability of having that monogamous attention. It's okay if you're not straight. Not every one of these manosphere people is straight. And I'm not saying that they're gay, but they're not exactly straight. It's okay. You can be non-straight and still have a productive life and have companionship. Third, sometimes it's not about sex. Sometimes it's about companionship. That's a thing that happens. And once you stop making it just about sex, then maybe you can actually get the relationships that are fulfilling to you. And 4, you're better than what they're fucking trying to get you to believe. People like Pearl are just trying to get you to believe that it's over. And, if you ain't got 20 chicks by the time you turned 18, then it's over and it's bad. Okay, Joe. Hey, I'm going to be streaming for a little bit while. Anyway. But that's not a problem with a lot of these manosphere people. But let's continue.
It's interesting. I feel like you've changed your tune a little bit since last show.
No, not at all. We're just talking about something completely different.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Mm-hmm. I personally don't shame anyone for having standards. I don't think standards. I think your standards should reflect how you carry yourself. Okay. If I don't drink and I was saying I want a bloke that doesn't drink, that's fair enough. Mm-hmm. If I was out every weekend getting pissed and I was saying I don't want a bloke that I don't want a bloke that drinks, then it's a double standard. I think everyone should have standards. I don't see the point in that.
So
see, that's exactly what I'm saying. So, Chungus, I will say this. I think that more than a monogamous mother and father is needed for raising children. I think it takes a village to raise a child is not only just a African proverb, but it is something that is very, very, very productive. It is very, very, it's wisdom in it, because when more people are contributing to a issue or contributing to a problem or contributing to a project or contributing to any sort of accomplishment that you need to, it becomes beneficial. And so it takes aunties, aunts, uncles. It takes the neighbor that you want to get to know. It takes your friend from church or your friend from synagogue or your friend from temple, shit like that. It takes all of that. My parents were monogamous for what my mother knows, while I was growing up and younger. But when she had to work, I went over her friends from church that I went to school with. I hung up with my auntie kids. Okay, but by the way, this segment is gonna be on YouTube later. But yeah, no, it's when it comes down to it, the small nuclear family of which you have no choice of being into can be very, very harmful. As far as you only know this, you only know that, and you only have, I don't know, it in reality, it's what we were sold as this is what the family should actually be, and from a point of the 1950s, yeah, that hasn't worked. And just to let people know, while I'm streaming on Twitch, if you have Amazon Prime, those free Bezo bucks, if you want to avoid an ad, go ahead and just use that if you have one, because I want you guys to see the stream as long as I am streaming. So yeah, no, that definitely, because of course we can have the conversation about Twitch and streaming and all that other good shit. But if you have the Amazon Prime, I encourage everybody, if you can, to just do the Amazon Prime thing. But yeah, let's continue.
But you disagree with women that shame men for not wanting
anyone,
to...
like, it's women, men, and I know what that.
So like women, I'll give you an example. Women were shaming Leonardo DiCaprio for only dating girls under 25.
I do think that is a bit suspect, if I'm honest.
Okay, so
it is sus. It is very sus. Once she turned 25, he turns her out the door. I just can't. I can't with these people. Like, yeah, no, that's suspect. But I mean, like, he does him and 23 and 22-year-olds. Okay, sorry. Oh, all right, let's go.
You agree? Okay.
I think there's a certain age gap, and if it's things like people fall in love. I'm not saying every age gap is weird. I think if you're an older bloke and you've got a habit of going with younger girls, then I personally think it is
sexual
a little bit
preference.
Yeah, I do, because I think sometimes there's a power dynamic in it.
What if it's the same? What if it's a woman going for a younger guy?
Oh, 100%. It's the same thing. It's like that.
Or what if...
God damn, this chick is based, ain't she? Like, she's coming in and destroying all this red pill bullshit, isn't she? And like Pearl is just like, hold on. You're not playing the script. You're not playing the script like I thought you would. And she called it out. She literally called the motherfucker out, right? So I just, with her saying that Leonardo DiCaprio is sus, and then she holds that same thing, like, yeah, no, it's sus when a woman does it too. That's the shit. Who was it? Was it Halle Berry or Jennifer Lopez? I forget which one. They date younger men. Like, no, that's sus. It's sus because it's a power dynamic, and of course, bringing up power dynamics and what incels think this should just also always be. Yeah, you kind of fucking up the high right now. But it's good. It's good that she's fucking up the high. But let's go.
What if it's a beautiful woman going for a rich guy?
That happens.
No, but I'm saying, is she taking advantage of him?
But is he only with her because she's beautiful? So it's the same thing, isn't it?
Right, but I'm saying,
if, like,
Leonardo,
having eye candy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like, why is one shamed and the other isn't?
I think I just said they were both the same, isn't it?
No, I was saying.
I can't talk for other people. I just talk for myself.
I'm saying,
See, and she's not giving Pearl the shit that Pearl wants to get. And that's the fucking problem. The fact when you start talking to people that's not deep dived into this bullshit of a lot of these, like, yeah, no, I think it's wrong. I think that you shouldn't be doing this. I think that this is a problem, regardless of who's doing it or not. Now, Pearl looks kind of like she's falling apart with the shit. And I will say this. I think a man dating a woman just because she's beautiful is a fucking problem. I think that a woman dating a man just because he's rich is a fucking problem. I personally, again, won't date a woman that's more than 8 years younger than me. I kind of have an issue with that because it makes it feel like it's a power dynamic thing. And the fact that one of Pearl's guests is actually addressing this shit, and Pearl is just like, wait, what you don't know? You gotta agree with me. You gotta agree with what I'm saying. It's leaving Pearl floundering. But I guess she can come back and edit this shit because you know that wife school is teaching us something, right?
Saying if a beautiful woman is with a rich man, but you said that one's okay.
No, but I'd imagine he's probably with her because she's beautiful. That's the way it is, isn't it? Like men like.
Well, I think we both want attractive partners.
Yeah, of course. Everyone wants someone they're attracted to. Jesus, that is what it is. That's just. I know people say.
And you see how Pearl just tried to change it while the young lady was actually explaining it. The young lady actually explained it and said, "Look, it's when a woman is with a rich guy, because he's rich, that's a problem." And when a guy's with a woman just because she's young and beautiful, that's also a problem. And those two, and I'm extrapolating, of course, but those two trash people deserve itself. That's what she's actually saying. But Pearl can't have it as, yeah, those are trash people because her audience are mostly looking at this. Of course, a rich guy should actually get the woman that he wants because he's rich and he's a guy. And women be doing stupid shit. Like this is like. She got Pearl. But let's go.
But it's just interesting because you said that you don't shame anyone for having standards, but you kind of did with
with the age thing. But that's a different sort of
Even make sure they're over 21 to 25. I think that's
what.
See, she's still trying to bring it back to like, but you didn't shame anybody, but you just said, it's like, no, I didn't outright shame anybody, but I'm calling them both trash. And Pearl cannot let this slide because, like, it's based. Like, old girl is just based as hell. It's like, yeah, no, they're both trash. They're both trash. Like, the fuck? All right, let's go.
So if a 50-year-old started dating a 21-year-old, do you think that's all right?
Yeah.
Well, fair enough.
If he wants
that's
to.
Fair enough.
If she's okay with it. I think at 21 you can make your own. Like when I was 21, I could make that decision. I wouldn't do it.
Why
for
not?
me.
Personally, as a 50...
That's too
old.
As
a 41-year-old man, I wouldn't date a 21-year-old.
That's
just me personally.
Would you find it weird if one of your mates said, do you want to meet the girl I'm dating, and in walked a 21-year-old?
I wouldn't find it weird.
Would you be a little... Not at all?
I wouldn't find it weird.
Why wouldn't you do it?
Because
I know everyone's different, but
once people are of age, I'm like, you can do what the hell you want.
And so I get that. And far from being a nanny state or an overprotective person, but if you know the person that your friend, your homie, your brother, your sister is really taking advantage of somebody, if you know that they're manipulating somebody because they can, and you don't say shit, and you recognize it's manipulation, kind of an asshole. It's kind of an asshole. And I've actually talked to people that's like, and it goes to the conversation that I have with people that watch football. I personally can't just go and tune into football. I know what is happening to players. I know the damage that they're doing for themselves. And hey, you watch football, I'm gonna tell you why I don't watch football. And that's you if you want to watch it. And a lot of people say, well, they know the risks, and so they choose to play. It's like, yeah, but you know that they don't know the risks, or they really don't appreciate it because of the shit that's happening to them. Well, they should know. And it's just like they're trying to convince themselves that it's okay with being okay to watch the shit. And you just like, yeah, sure, buddy. Okay, buddy. And this is where this guy is with his explanation of this. But let's continue.
I'm just saying for me as an individual.
Yeah.
I couldn't, like, I'm just like, what do I have in common with a 21-year-old? Like, I can't see it.
But some 50-year-olds just don't care.
No. Right,
They're
exactly.
Like, you know what? I don't need anything in common. She's hot.
Exactly.
As many of you know, I was just banned on TikTok, and we are demonetized.
Oh, she was banned on TikTok. She was banned on TikTok. I feel bad. I guess those corporations are flexing their the big tech is flexing their muscles. But yeah, no, that's funny because you see the conversation was cut off. I can't tolerate sitting through a fucking hour long of that shit. But no, it's just one of those things where it's just like, yeah, the chick that she had on was actually kind of base. But all right, let's just nobody is shaming guys for having standards. A lot of people have standards. Now, if you're hypocritical with those standards, then people gonna call you out. My standard for a woman that I'm dating is she has to have a job. She has to have a job. If you're struggling, I get it, fuck it, but you have to have a job. Like I said, I don't really like dating women with young children. And this is because I know those things. I don't have any young children. A woman that I date has to have a hobby. And she has to be pretty sexual. But again, that's it. But anyway, yeah, no, nobody is shaming guys for having standards. Actually, more people should have standards. Impossible standards? No. But standards nonetheless that you should be able to make for themselves. And we're going to cut this video segment. Before we do that, like, share, subscribe. Please, it helps out the channel. But anyway, cut this video segment here. So, as far as like, do they get paid enough for the damage? I will say this. When it comes down to it, we know that CTE actually, one of the side effects is you don't appreciate the consequences of choices. So it's one of those things where it's the more you have, the less you understand that these choices are going to be harmful in the end. You should feel bad, Second Amendment and all that. I literally don't want to see human suffering. To me, human suffering is just fucking bad. And you, like, as with everything, and I like to say this, I am somebody who would rather have the human condition to be more like a video game. And what do I mean by that? I mean that we're in a multiplayer video game. I would rather have PvE versus PvP. And that's just me. I get it. Not everybody loves PvE. They want the extra challenge of player versus player. But with a lot of the shit that we have to face as a fucking species, sometimes it is beneficial for us to work together to solve a problem. But anyway, that's just how I feel about it. I know a lot of people actually look at things a lot different, and I get it. It just, to me, it works best if we're fighting with each other, not against each other. All right, let's just do another video, and this will be a little bit different from me. Not necessarily politics, but after I watched this video, I kind of saw that I wanted to talk about it. because it was something that caught my eye. So yeah, let's actually do this video. All right, so okay, so I am a fan of shonen, the power of friendship type shit bullshit, and adventure and growing, and I'm a little bit of a writer. I'm a fucking character designer, and with me being a character designer, me being a little bit known about writing and shit like that, there are certain things that I actually like to actually see and actually address with people and characters. I'm also somebody that can enjoy a story no matter how horrible it is, as long as the characters are understandable. Not even relatable, but not likable, but I can understand their motives. And this video kind of caught my eye because I like watching videos about anime and shit like that. So let's actually look at this video while we review it. So let's go.
Alt argument some people use to defend Boruto is that Boruto is a more... One of the default arguments some people use to defend Boruto is that Boruto is a more relatable character than Naruto, and therefore Boruto is better or more serviceable, however they want to categorize it. But just saying a character is relatable doesn't really mean anything whatsoever.
So this, like, I saw the first 30 seconds of this video, and I kind of was just like, all right, so let's just exercise the writing muscles. Let's just exercise the critique muscles. There is a powerful writing tool of making your character more relatable in a grounded way. Of course, like, you know, we're talking about Boruto, that's like ninja magic and shit like that. But when you relate to a character, it attaches you more to their story. But let's hear his argument.
Relatability is a fallacy, and you should not try to make your characters relatable. Before we get to the reason...
And this is where you fucking lost me. Why shouldn't you try to make your characters relatable? Are they supposed to be some god emperor human beings that just like, oh no, you don't act like a normal... Like, this is one of the reasons why I have so many issues with the people that shit on like God of War, like the Norse saga. It's like, no, Kratos is this big raging anger monster. Like, you know, you can't sustain that forever, but he seems weak. Like, but you can't sustain it. No, he doesn't seem as powerful. And this is the shit that I'm talking about right here. It's just like they have some weird archetype of how they think characters should actually always be and what they should actually be in stories. We told those stories about characters that were just godlike and so removed from the human experience, and people didn't like those, or they weren't widely adopted, or they weren't widely expressed that people like those. I say it like that, but let's go.
Why subscribe to this channel and like this video if you enjoy my content. Boruto has a more normal life than Naruto had, at least in the beginning of his series. Boruto was a kid, sure, he had ninja power, so of course he's not gonna be like anyone reading the series, but still, his most pressing issue was that his dad was absent. While in Naruto's case, his most pressing issue was that he had no family and the entire village detested him. Of course, many more people are going to be able to relate to Boruto than...
So this is just loneliness fuel. So you're just mad because one character has a family and they can be related when and he doesn't go through the same horrors and trials and tribulations as the previous generation of characters. Tell you what, Chief, most parents try to improve life for their child. I get it. Maybe daddy didn't take you fishing like you wanted to, and maybe you're mad at Boruto because he's smart and he did get some time with his father, but not enough. But like, I almost as if it's kind of projection. Anyway, let's go.
And to Naruto, having an absent parent is much more common than being ostracized because you have a demon sealed in your body. But just because a character is more relatable than the other, it doesn't mean it's a better character. This is something that Western media, especially Hollywood, love to do.
It's the Hollywood media. Yeah, fishing is overrated. It's just literally an excuse to go out in the park and take a nap. I'm sorry. I'm just if you want to be honest with the fishing, my father took me fishing when I was younger all the fucking time, and it was just an excuse for him to sit by the motherfucking lakefront and relax and drink beers. That's it. Like the fish, yeah, if he caught something cool, but he was just trying to not stay in the house and sit back by the lakefront and drink beers. But all right, let's go.
I think relatability is key, that if a character isn't relatable, then the character is not going to work. Now, I'm not saying that relatable characters cannot be great characters, because there are several relatable characters in media that are great, but relatability is by no means a necessity in storytelling. It's a tool that can be used like any other writing tool, but just the tool by itself is not gonna make a character work. What makes a character interesting are deeper things.
So here's the thing. I don't get the complaint, because the complaint that I think I'm hearing is that relatability is bad. That's what he's saying out front. But the complaint that I really think I'm hearing is the way you're using relatability. I don't like. It's not that relatability is bad, because a lot of these hardcore Naruto fans try to relate to Rock Lee because he didn't have any special gifts. He just trained hard. Like, that relatability is in a lot of their ideas. But just say you don't like the relatability that they're using for Boruto. That gives you a little bit more of a leg to stand in. I may not, like a specific type of relatability that, or character flaw that somebody has, or character, what's the difference of a flaw, character trait, strength that somebody has? But that doesn't mean that they shouldn't be built in as, I don't know, human. But let's go.
Characters should be fascinating in their core. They should have interesting personalities and
Again, it's just, I don't like this character. All right, let's go.
arc that is related to the character's core conflict, and a conflict in which the character must solve his problems by overcoming his flaws and using his strengths in his favor. Their actions should be well written, and they should be well integrated in the story. If you do that and your character is relatable, good. If you do that and your character isn't relatable, that's also good, because it's gonna work either way. And you know why it works even if the character isn't necessarily very relatable? Because people have something, at least most people, that's called empathy, where they can.
So again, this is like literally, it's just, I don't, okay, maybe I'm just missing it. It's just like, it just seemed like you don't like the characterization, not the relatability, because you can relate to anything, is anybody if you find that type of right mix. You just don't like the characterization. And say that. Say you don't like the characterization. That's fine. I get it, but like, oh, okay. Let's go.
And put themselves in the shoes of other people, especially characters of a story they are watching and they are invested on. Even if the struggle of a character is something completely alien for you in your real life, you can still imagine how the character feels and what's going on screen or on page. Of course, there's nothing inherently wrong with enjoying a character that's similar to you, that have struggles similar to the ones you have in your life, and watch the character succeed on screen. It can be very uplifting. It can give you a very good sense of hope that things can get better for you.
So, and again, he's not degrading like characters. Oh, I relate to this character, so they're good. It just seems like, yeah, it's just like, I don't like the characterization of this character. Okay, let's go.
And when used correctly, relatability can be great, a very good asset for you to implement in a story. However, sometimes you don't want to watch someone that has a struggle like yours. You want to escape your reality. You want to watch someone that's greater than yourself. A character that's...
Okay, so remember a couple of minutes ago when I said that it was like almost projection? I from my assessment, educated guess, from just what he says, you want to see somebody that's different from yourself. Like, so is it that you feel that you didn't have the time with your parent? As is it that you're relating too much with Boruto? That's why you want to escape. You want to see something different. Like, I don't get what the critique is necessarily, because the only critique that I can see that I feel like is coming up is that, man, I don't like the characterization. I don't like the plot of the story. If you don't like the plot, that's fine. But don't sit back here and shit on the tool, shit on the way the tool is being used. You just don't like Boruto. And I get why a lot of people don't like Boruto. They want to live their life through Naruto. And ironically, the fucking opposite actually happened to be with most fandoms. I grew up in a time where Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z was a thing. And I get like a lot of fans right now just empathize with Gohan, and they grew up with Gohan, and he was gonna be the next generation. But I stuck with Goku and Vegeta, and the reason why I didn't, go with Gohan, I definitely don't understand. I definitely don't understand the love of Gohan being the main character is because, as a writer, I know Gohan has never moved the story. He was always moved by the story. And protagonists have to move the story. But Gohan was never that character. Are they writing in Boruto when they actually started it? Because the manga is a lot different than the actual anime. It's a lot different. In the anime, does Boruto move the story as well as they think as well as I think he should? No. In a manga, yeah, it's actually more. He's actually pushing the story forward a lot more than what they did in the anime, and so that's a characterization. That's the way they're using a tool. It's not that relatability is a problem. It's the misuse of the tool. And I think this guy kind of sees himself in Boruto too much, and that's why he says he wants something different from life. But again, that's just a speculation.
Special, that is beyond what a simple human being can be, and watch such a person go into struggles that you could never imagine going through during your life. This can be also very interesting and fascinating to watch. Let's be real, I am not special. You are most likely not special.
See? Damn! Fuck! Why? Why would you say that? Okay, alright. Sure, let's go.
Either. So when we watch people in stories that can do very special things, it can give us a sense that there's something else, that we can become like them too. And these characters don't necessarily have to be relatable. We can also contrast.
But you are just saying what relatability is. You are identifying with a character trait and you hoping to be like that character trait. Oh my God, you just say you don't like the way the tool is being used, my guy. Just say that. Because you are literally talking about what relatability is. You're identifying with a part of that character and you're hoping to transcend. Are you saying a 1-to-1 ratio? No, that's not how that works. But you, my God, you are doing relatability right then and there. But let's go.
Sarada and Sasuke, just like who contrasted Boruto and Naruto. Sarada has essentially the same core issue Boruto has. She has an absent father in her life. While Sasuke had a big brother that slaughtered his entire family in
spoiler alert. I'm sorry.
cold blood, leaving Sasuke alone and with a deep desire of vengeance. Which one is more relatable? I mean, I'm pretty sure most people don't have their families assassinated by their older brother, so of course Sarada is more relatable. Which character is better? I'll let you decide.
But the answer is Sasuke.
A big
again, this seems just more like, hey, I'm used to this character. I like the story that this character told. And yeah, let's just choose this. It's fucking I don't know if it's official logical fallacies, but it's an appeal to familiarity. Now, if you actually go into the story of, and I know a lot of people like hate Sadara because excuse me, Sakura is her mother, just like for some reason they hate her, but Sadara is her own character. She has a desire to literally be the first Uchiha Hokage, and she's actually on a good path to it, and she's not a carbon copy of Sasuke. I'm sorry, it's just not a thing. And if you go to the characterization in the manga, now do I think Ikimoto kind of was maybe on some sus shit? But you know, she's her own character. That's just a thing that happened. That's a progression of a story. Okay, all right, let's go.
Problem arises whenever a writer wants to use the relatability factor in order to make a character work. I'm not saying necessarily that's what they're doing in Boruto. Boruto has way more problems than this, and Boruto's relatability isn't really an issue in the story. The entire story has so many things wrong that Boruto being relatable is just something that's there. But people usually use this as
you don't like Boruto. Just say that, dog. You just don't like Boruto. Okay, you don't. Okay, check this out. You don't have to like a piece of media. I know, shocking. Wow. You don't have to have the piece of media also go the way that you like. It's okay. I know the sunk cost fallacy is a bitch to get over. I get it. I've been doing YouTube for like 6-7 years now, and I still haven't made monetization. So sunk cost fallacy is a bitch. And I keep doing it by, like and subscribe. But you don't like Boruto. You don't have to watch Boruto. I stopped watching the anime a minute ago. But you know what? I read the manga, and the manga is fucking tight. It's okay. I can do one and not do the other. I don't have to be consumed with pledging my fealty to a property that I don't like parts of. It's all right. But fuck, let's go.
As a defense to say that Boruto is better than it actually is and to excuse many of its flaws. There are many stories that use this relatability factor in order to make the reader care at all. And this is obviously much more done in Western media, as I said before. You're not gonna really find that many relatable characters in anime. And of course
he's bullshit, right? As Chungus says, like, wait, what? Like, this video is kind of quack. It is like, really? Of course you find relatable people in anime. What are you fucking, like, I would say, what are you smoking? But I don't actually get high because, like, I wouldn't want myself to, like, not be able. All right, let's go.
Generalizing here, there are a lot of really relatable characters in anime.
So I get it now. I really get it. He thinks that relatability means having the powers. Because you don't have the powers, or you're not overly this or overly that, then you're not relatable. That's not.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Just because you don't have powers like fucking Saiyans, or you don't have ninja powers, or you haven't had a devil fruit, doesn't mean that it's not relatable. Like, just because your mother was a Quincy and your father was a Shimigami doesn't mean that you're not relatable. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
But I'm just comparing the number of relatable anime characters to the number of Hollywood/Western relatable characters. There's just way more of these very relatable characters in Western media, and that's a fact. Of course that their emotions and their struggles can be relatable because you're going to empathize with the character, but you don't really want to become the Hokage in your real life. Your goals are probably very different. Unless your goal is to touch a boob once in your life, then...
Wait, you don't think certain people don't want to become leaders or respected people in their area? What type of fucking neat are you, dude? Okay, let's go.
Why do I have the anime for you? But still, you understand them because those characters are good. And then if you contrast that to a character that's relatable for the sake of being relatable, and you're gonna find that a lot in questionable American literature, such as Twilight, 50 Shades of Grey.
Wait, what? Does he really think that Twilight has relatable characters? Did he say Twilight? He said Twilight. This motherfucker said, did he say the fucking horrible ass Twilight fan fiction, 50 Shades of Grey? This motherfucker said Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey. Motherfuckers ain't fucking Christian Grey. Or Edward, or fucking Jacob. I need for you to tell me where you got that source. Wait a minute, I think I found it.
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Wow, this bullshit comes all out of his ass. Like, okay, let's go.
And that kind of stuff. The main characters in those books are just a self-insert. They're supposed to feel relatable, but the characters themselves have nothing going for them. And of course, those are two very extreme examples of bad literature, but still, they are great examples that tell you that relatable characters are not necessarily good. If you move to the other end and reach out for very quote-unquote unrelatable characters, you can still find many.
I get it. I know what he is. He's a fucking JoJo fan. He's a fucking JoJo fan. That's what he is. He's a fucking JoJo fan. And I'm sorry, dog. Even though it didn't happen to me, there have been people that have been groomed by older guys. It didn't happen to me. But yeah, Sasuke was Orochimaru was trying to that's not a pedo like picture right there.
Extremely compelling characters in that category, and of course there are many villains that are not relatable. I mean, Thanos, for example, he's not relatable. Madara.
Oh my god, he doesn't know. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. First of all, and I will continue to preach this because I kind of know the fucking character. So first of all, Sasuke wasn't cool. Sasuke was never cool. Sasuke is the furthest thing from cool. You know what Sasuke was? Sasuke was socially awkward and had PTSD, but he knew when to shut the fuck up. Like, he wasn't cool. He was never cool. He tried to play cool, but he was never cool. Everybody called Sasuke out on this bullshit. Even Sakura. Before they hit the bell test, Sasuke seemed cool to Sakura. But when he told her off about disrespecting Naruto, about saying how she was annoying, it kind of changed. And yeah, you see the little, oh yeah, Sasuke cool, but you kind of saw the change in the way he actually talked to her, especially when like he quote unquote rescued her from Kakashi's genjutsu. He couldn't lie to her anymore. She called him out on his bullshit. Naruto called him out on his bullshit too. But like, yes, Sasuke was just socially awkward, but he knew when to shut the fuck up. And he had PTSD. But you send, 10-year-olds to war, of course they're gonna get fucking PTSD. Thanos, guess what? Thanos was a simp. I'm sorry, like you say Western media and all this other good bullshit. Thanos was a simp. I'm sorry. He is in love with Lady Death. She appeared to him as a child. She enamored this motherfucker with her. And I get it, MCU, a lot of people don't know the MCU, but Thanos is a simp for Lady Death. I don't know how else to tell you. Your limited motherfucking media diet is, but Thanos was a simp. And I'm just gonna put this out here. I'm just gonna put it out here. Madara, I'm gonna get stoned for the Naruto fan base for this. Madara is just fucking Anakin Skywalker. I know. He's just fucking Anakin Skywalker. That's all Madara is. Some of the shit has changed a little bit, but I'm gonna make sure that I can protect everybody. And then somebody important to him dies. And then another person, I'm mad, and I'm gonna change the world because I'm mad. Madara is just Anakin Skywalker. I know. It seems like he's a whiny little bitch. Yes, he's strong, but he can't let go of the fact that fucking people die, and you need to take care of the people that are here that you can actually save and you can actually protect. Motherfucking Madara is just Anakin Skywalker. That's it. He's Anakin Skywalker. He's a strong person that has the power to change the world, but threw a fit because he lost some loved ones. I don't know what else to say. Just like, he's Anakin Skywalker. Okay. Let's go.
He's not very relatable. Palpatine, he's not very relatable, but they are good villains. And of course, they're
he actually is relatable. Palpatine is somebody who's exclusively he's a cartoon villain, but his thing is he wants power, he wants control. Okay, let's go.
relatable feelings as well, but then there are good characters that are also not very relatable, such as Sasuke Uchiha. Okay, you can argue that Sasuke wasn't good all the time, but you get the point. Zuko from Avatar. He is one of the best written characters ever, and he's not relatable. His
Wait. No. Fucking no. Fucking no. He's mad at Boruto, whose father didn't live up to the shit that he needed to live up to. But he praises Zuko. Wow, dog. Wow. Do you not actually get, like, do you not actually get what's going on, dog? Okay. Wow. Shit. Let's go.
Father banished him because he spoke out of turn during a war meeting, and he is the prince. He is a very unrelatable character for me.
You keep saying relatable. You keep
using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
I don't think you know what that word means, dude. You keep using that word. I don't think you know what that word means. But, alright. Struggling through.
Most people, and yet he is one of the best characters I've ever seen being written before. What matters for the character is the human struggle, the situations they're put in, and how they react to them. Their decisions and choices will dictate if a character is good or not. Not whether this character has a similar situation that the reader/watcher is in. This is simply a fallacy. So don't be afraid of writing a character that doesn't look very relatable, even if this is the main character of your story. Some of the most interesting main characters are actually quite unrelatable. So why do you have to be...
Why is he showing Lelouch? Again, a banished prince who had a dick of a father that wanted to change the world for the better. Is it because I kind of know about writing? I'm not saying I'm a good one. I'm not saying I'm a proficient one. It's because I know about writing, because I've actually just read, watched, and like just heard media. You use Lelouch? Oh, you're not a prince. By the way, you don't have a sister that you care about, that you want to look after. No, that's not a relatable thing. You don't have the need to change the world, and the fuck. Okay, let's go.
Be stuck on this box of relatability. Make sure the character is good, compelling, and interesting, and then it doesn't matter if he or she is relatable or not. People will enjoy your story, regardless of the fact that they find the struggles in the story relatable for them. They will simply enjoy the story and the characters for what they are and for what they do. Watch this other video right here for some more interesting content. Like this video, subscribe.
Alright. He just doesn't like Boruto. Just say that, dog. Just say you don't like Boruto. It'll be fine. Just say you don't like Boruto. It's okay. That's fine. I don't know. Dude, like shit like this, just say you don't like Boruto. I don't understand. I don't understand. You don't like Boruto, that's fine. You can say that. It's okay. But anyway, like, share, subscribe, and all that other good shit. Thank you for choosing to watch this video. Like, we're gonna cut this video segment here. Man, well, it is 10 p.m. my time, and I want to say thank everybody for watching today. We're gonna call it a day or night, and yeah, as you can see, I'm slowly making progress on the character design. I want to actually get it, and I may actually change the way the legs look. I want to look at different things. If you guys notice, like I've drawn the head, but not the eyes, and just the eyes. I do Cash App, I do Patreon, and I do PayPal. It's the Crimson 60620 is everywhere, so you know that's what it is. But yeah, no. I have to change like that scroll because I've had that on there for a while. Anyway, I want to say thank everybody for watching tonight. I'm gonna try to be back Friday, the latest. I'm gonna try to be back Friday, the latest. But please remember, please like, share, subscribe. Also, touch titties, but always
Animals are innocent. Don't be species.
Thank you, but always with consent. And we're gonna. Richard, take it away for us.
What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Yeah. I'm probably afraid of that because then people don't hate each other, then people start talking to each other, and then they start talking to each other, they find out who's the problem.
Which is?
Greedy people.
Greedy people. I have a couple things I want to ask you there. Do you really think that some of the guys that you dealt with at NBC, no names, right? Because there's lawsuits for that too, that some of these guys really want to promote racism actively, or is it a subconscious?
I just think it's part of capitalism, is to promote racism, you know, right? In order to make things work. If you feel better because you're white and you can get a job, you use that. I mean, you know, I would.
Absolutely.
Say, I'm sorry, Jack, but shit, they say I'm white. I'm going to use this.
Right, absolutely.
Get this job. I'm hungry, you know. But, and that separates people. So they keep people separated, and that keeps them from thinking about the real problem. That's as simple as I see it. Probably it's not that simple, but.
Now, all right, you and I are about the same age, right? We're in our mid-30s. How long is it going to take before guys who think like you, and I say guys who think like me, people who don't want to have racism in the country, people who don't want to be oppressing any minority, whatever it is, sexual, whatever minority, really get into positions of power and can change things?
You can't get in a position of power, it seems, if you think like that. It seems that the only time you get in a position of power is if you're like the people that are in power. To me, I mean, that's the way it goes. I mean, people that get to become executives become like the people that were already executives.
I don't know, maybe...
They go in with good intentions, but it eats them up. It's like a cesspool, you know. It just gets on you and it starts
eating. The system levels them.
Pretty soon it's all gone.
Is that what a cesspool sounds like?
Yes.